Well, let's take a temperature. How many of y'all struggle with perfectionism and wanting to get things just right? Yeah, this is my people, you're my crowd. So I love doing stuff like that too, because isn't it true that sometimes you're just in your own home or sitting at your own desk and you think you're the one that's so fucked up and everyone else has it all together, right? And then you come into a place like this and you see, yeah, we're all screwed up. It's awesome, it's kind of fun, this is cool, we can talk about it. So perfectionism, it's really painful. First of all, it keeps you from producing and sharing your gifts. That's one thing. So it just takes your productivity down into the toilet. That's number one. But in the extreme, it can actually be quite deadly. So when I was doing a lot of research for this particular chapter, I couldn't believe what I was discovering. And there's a lot of science behind this notion that perfectionism is tied to some severe mental health issues, eating disorders, and then in the extreme case, even suicide. So there was a research study that was done on folks that had taken their own life, and they had interviewed the friends and family. And in over half, 50% of the times when they interviewed these folks, they declared that the person that's no longer with us was a perfectionist. That's how bad it can get. So perfectionism isn't just a destructive way of thinking about your work, it's a destructive way of thinking about yourself. Because it's rooted in this false notion that you're not good enough. That you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that whatever you're producing or whatever you're sharing or whatever you want to put out in the world, somehow it's inadequate. And one of the most universal fears that all of us have is that we're afraid that we're not good enough. And here's what's interesting about that fear. I don't think it ever goes away. I don't think it ever goes away. You know, again, doing what I'm doing now for 20 years and then working on this book, do you guys know how many times when I was writing this book, I could hear that voice that this sucks, that this isn't good enough? All these people out there in the world, they know this shit already. Why do they have to buy your book? I am hearing that in my head. So that's not necessarily, I hope you're like, God, this is really shitty news. If she can't get it together, what's my hope, right? No. I think that this voice stays with us, and the joy comes when you don't take it seriously, when you think about it as the universal mind, and that you don't have to give it authority, you don't have to let it rule you, and you just go, oh, you know, my friend Hannah, she probably thinks she sucks too, that's fine, I'm just gonna keep going. Does that make sense? So one of the ways that I've gotten out of perfectionist tendencies, and by the way, here's what's cool. Because some people might be thinking, girl, your stuff is tight, like your branding's together. Are you sure you're not still a perfectionist? For me, here's what it is. You can have extremely high standards for yourself and not fall into the downsides of perfectionism. So high standards can be healthy, perfectionism blows. We don't want to go there. And here's what helps us stay out of it. A little mantra called progress, not perfection. So instead of trying to get things perfect, which is really unachievable, all our metric is progress. Have we learned something? Have we pushed this project ahead even a little bit? And I'll tell you this, even when you fall on your face, even when you scrape your knees, even when you have a quote unquote temporary failure, that's still progress. We have this mistaken notion in life that progress is like, okay, we have a goal and we start here. And we're gonna make progress. And it's gonna be really neat and really fun. And then eventually, ding, 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 we're gonna reach our goal like it's a straight line. Again, that's some bullshit. That is not how progress works. Here's how progress works. You have a goal and you have an idea. And then you take a step. And then all of a sudden, you take a step back. And then you go around in a circle 2 times. And then you shoot up. And then you go down. And then you inch 2 steps ahead, and then you go back, and you do this whole squiggly line thing, and then eventually, maybe you meet your goal, or you find a whole new goal that was awesome that you couldn't even predicted in the first place. So that's what progress actually looks like, and when we strive for progress, not perfection, all of a sudden you produce a lot more work, it becomes a lot more fun, and especially in the world that we're in today, you can iterate. Nothing is really out there necessarily permanently, even books, even this book. Hopefully it'll be around long enough where in 10 years we'll do an updated edition because I'm gonna learn some new shit about figuring stuff out and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Does that make sense? So taking ourselves less seriously, focusing on progress, not perfection, that's one of the ways that we can dismantle it.